The F9 command I'm going to demonstrate now is called the analyze. The analyze finds missing and duplicate accounts in your F9 report. So let's go over to an F9 report here. We've got our small income statement here. Now, if you notice, the control total and the net income do not match. That's telling us that there's something wrong with the body of the income statement itself. A couple of things can throw off the net income in an income statement. You could be missing account numbers, or you are possibly duplicating account numbers, or a combination of the both. Well, your analyze will help you find those account numbers. Now, before I begin the analyze process, I want to briefly explain how the analyze works. What the analyze does is it counts how many times an account number is being calculated on this Excel spreadsheet. Now, what I mean by calculated is how many times an account number is pulled into F9 formulas. Not Excel formulas. These are Excel formulas here. How many times account number is being pulled into F9 formulas? Well, on this particular income statement, we have F9 formulas in this column, F9 formulas in this column, and we have an F9 formula in the control total. So knowing that, that tells us that each account number should be calculated 3 times. Any account number that is calculated less is incorrect. Any account number that is calculated more is incorrect. So to begin the analyze, we go up to add-ins, go over to the F9 drop-down, click Analyze. And we're not going to change anything here, but what it's saying is we're analyzing just this worksheet only, and we're analyzing 4 accounts. And we just go ahead and say OK, and I click OK. This screen pops up, and all it's doing is it's going to insert another Excel spreadsheet with the analyze results on it. So I just click OK. And here's our analyze results. This top section up here is telling us that the sheet does not use the current account numbers. Well, if we notice, these are balance sheet account numbers. We're working with an income statement, so that's perfectly fine. It says here the sheet is using the following accounts. This is the information we want to look at down here. So let's go ahead and expand our column so we can see a little bit here. Now, what this is telling us is that this account number was calculated in that report 5 times. Here we've got an account number that's only calculated 3 times. Now I'm going to add an F9 formula in this column here and copy and paste it down, and then I'm going to use data sort to put this information in a more useful pattern. I'm entering my F9 formula right here, equals GL, open parentheses, and then I'm just going to key the account number here to the left. Remember, the first segment of an F9 formula is always your account number segment. Second segment is your period specifier separated by comma, and I'm just going to reference that cell named period. Hit enter. Now, back up in the formula here, we're referencing that cell named period. Over on our F9 report, this cell right here is that cell that's named period, and the period specifier is currently March. So back over on our analyze sheet here, what it's telling us is this account number for the period of March has a 0 balance. So I simply copy and paste this formula down. Now I need to calculate the worksheet to update the copy and paste. And then I'm going to highlight across and down, doing a data sort. I'll add a level here. By column C first and then D. Select C and then D. I say OK. Now notice we've got account numbers here that have only been calculated once. If I scroll down, we have account numbers here that have been calculated 3 times. And if I scroll down to the bottom, notice we've got account numbers here that have been calculated 5 times. Well, let me go back up to the top here. Now, if we remember, back over on this report, the correct number of times an account number should be calculated in this report is 3 times. So if an account number is only calculated once, and we have those over here at the top, it's only being calculated in this control total. And the reason why I can say that is because the control total pulls all the P&L accounts. It does not miss any P&L accounts, and it does not duplicate any P&L accounts. So again, if it's only being calculated once, it's only in the control total and it's not in the body of the income statement itself. So let's look at the account numbers over here on our analyze sheet that have only been calculated once. Now, what I want to point out here is we have these transactions here. We have amounts here. We don't have amounts here. These are the account numbers that I'm concerned about. These accounts down here are not throwing off your net income amount because there's no transactions on them. So we notice that the natural account number is the 3,000. If I go back over on the report, now notice we're missing the 3,000 range. We're basically missing the 3,000 through 3,009. Well, all I need to do is go in here, put the 3,000 back in there. Now I've got the whole range between 3,000 and 4,000 here. Now let's go over and back on this analyze sheet and look at the account numbers that have been calculated 5 times down at the bottom of the sheet here. These are the account numbers that I'm concerned with. They've been calculated 5 times and they have balances on them. Now again, these have been calculated 5 times. There's no balance. I'm not worried about those. They're not throwing off my net income. Now these are duplicate in the report, and the reason why I can say that is, let's go back over to the report. Remember, an account number is only going to be calculated once in the control total. That means the other 4 times are going to be up here in the body of the income statement. So we got 1 in the control total, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if we go back over here to our analyze sheet here, notice the natural account segment here is 4,000s. If we scroll down to the bottom, also they're all 4,000s. We go back over to the report. Now notice in my revenue row, we got 3,000 through 4,000, and then we're starting in our first expense here, 4,000. Well, here's our duplicate. So I want to eliminate one of these duplicates, so I'm going to take out the 4,000, and I'm going to put in 3,999. 3,999, hit enter. We've got our 4,000 here. I'm going to recalculate the F9 report. Now notice our control total matches the net income again. Now remember, the key to making the analyze work most efficiently for you is knowing the correct number of times that an account number needs to be calculated in your F9 report. And again, in this report, the correct number of times was 3 times. But if I add another control total, do a copy and a paste, calculate the worksheet. See, now I've got 2 control totals here. Now the correct number of times an account number should be calculated in this report is 4 times, because an account number is going to be calculated twice in the body of the report, once in the actual control total, and then once in your budget control total. Now this is perfectly normal. There's sometimes you need a control total for the budget column and a separate control total for the actual column. And that's your analyze. Critical in helping you create your fast, accurate, and verifiable custom reports.